Yeah. That's the bait completely stripped. Lots of little critters down there, I think. A wee spur dog. Not really what we want to see. Just one of these wee baby things. Well, having said you don't really want spur dogs in this tiny wee rig, exactly what we got. Even smaller, this one. Well, there's the odd pollock up here, so I'll have a wee drift in close into the side for them. Not very optimistic because it's a very small tide, but we'll see. Let's try one of these. Never used this one before, so might be its first and last trip, you never know. Let's work this one back to us quite slowly. There's almost no tide movement at all here. The problem here is we've actually lost our drone. Ran out of battery, so it crash landed itself. It's a hazard of being on the boat and trying to control the drone over the water. My own stupid fault, of course. I should have checked a bit more closely. It's not the easiest ground to find it, although it shows up in the app as to where it should be, so just have a wander through and see. As I say, I can't see this thing having a long life expectancy, but it's good fun while it lasts, sort of thing. Got it down through the trees, so that itself's a minor miracle. So it's not over water and it's not hanging in a tree, it's actually on the ground somewhere. And it didn't look like it smashed into a boulder either. So I got lucky. Right, here we go. Double lucky, eh? Once these fish get going, there's not normally much chance of anything else getting a look in. Trying to trap their tail so they don't lash around, because the spikes will go right into you. But maybe see its jaws there. Doesn't look like it's got teeth, but there are a little set of razors in there. They cut nice neat chunks out of you. That's another wee one having a go. It's getting these fish in about 80 feet of water. Well, that's about as big as it's got today. They've all been very small. I'll get another 15 minutes maybe, then I'll have to get it back in before it gets dark. But beautiful day out here. Not really complaining about the quality of fishing. Just little whiting. That's what the spur dogs are feeding on. So put them back to get eaten. Either the gulls will get them or the spur dogs will. I'll just let this die down a wee bit and then get dinner on. So fairly simple stuff tonight, but a couple of baked potatoes and some venison sausages. Haven't tried them for a long time. Dinner nearly ready. I'll take the potatoes out the coals fairly soon. They've just been cooking away in the embers there. It's just a hot chocolate with a good drop of whiskey in it. Oh well, bigger than some of the ones I was getting yesterday anyway. Just a very small one this time. But, the further up the loch you go, the smaller they get usually. So that's 4 spur dog without really trying at all. So there's plenty in there. But I'm going to strike camp fairly soon. Just head out, work my way back down the loch, fishing from the boat. Just had a good take there. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean very much. That's quite small. Right, so going to put this one back in a slightly deeper water here. Hopefully it finds its way a bit better. Something small with a lot of weed. Certainly picked up a fair bit on the way in. Right. Just another tiny one. Get you back in here. Can't even sit down to get my bacon sandwich. That's just another one. Try and keep the GoPro dry, drone dry after its mistreatment this weekend. It's a fish I cast quite literally from the shore. So I've actually down to my last bit of bait now. I found this little present on the shore, so I'm not sure if I got much use for it, but better off taking it home than leaving it here, I think. It's just been washed up, covered in seaweed. Tie this lot and start heaving the boat in. This is probably the easiest tie up I've ever had. Normally, or it's very rare to get trees close enough to the shoreline to tie up properly to. just need to take the anchor off the ring here. It's just reconfiguring it really for down to the spot about maybe 180 feet of water off the bothy at Cadderley, so we'll give it a try here for an hour or so and then probably just call it a day. Not sure if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Basically just hit bottom with the wee gear and got a whiting immediately, so I suspect it's well carpeted, but just the usual wee things. Now the weather's really closed in now. It's still quite pleasant actually, it's just a bit wet, but the wind's still very light. This is one thing I do like about the Orkney, is it when it starts raining and blowing a little bit, if you're fishing solo you can just hide very nicely in the cabin. Just plenty of space in here. Ourselves a wee ring. Just a wee baby one. Bit of variety for the day. So, that's the first rate of the trip. Just a wee thing. But a tiny tiddly dogfish. First one I've had this trip, and it is a really small fish. A puppy. Anyway. This is the one downside of this boat that continues to irritate me. The arrangements for bilge are less than satisfactory. Anyway, just going to pack up now. The weather's still fairly closed in and it's going to get dark fairly soon, so there's not a lot doing on the fishing front. A few more whiting. No sign of spur dog down here at all. Right, I'll get this lot sorted out when I get back. past feeding time.